due diligence for a moment. I know a lot of people are pretty concerned, freaked out, you know, your term, whatever, which one you want to use, about the upcoming NCUA review of vendors. And you gave some really great tips in the session. Can you just give us a couple here, just that we can pass on to our members, that you would suggest people?
Sure. I mean, the whole gravis of my presentation on vendor due diligence, I mean, I don't come in as an attorney. I come in as somebody who's simply been in credit unions. So already credit unions have existing third-party relationships. So let's leverage the internal mechanisms that we have as much as possible. Vendor due diligence, or third-party contract management, whatever term you want to use, boils down to three things. A risk assessment, something that's going to list every single vendor, what they do, and then what the risks are. Next, individual vendor files. And my analogy to that is just like staff review files. You cannot have staff that are properly reviewed, properly managed, unless you keep track of what their responsibilities are and keep track of how they're performing and what their reviews are and how often you have their reviews. And finally, a policy that can just be very real world written, if you will, easy to understand, that ties all that in together. It talks about how you review each type of vendor, how often you do it, and whose responsibility that is, and what the fail-safes are.
Great. I know one thing you talked about too was maintaining this information on an Excel sheet. You know, there's a lot of third-party software out there and a lot of all those things going on out there, and I think people are really confused about what their options are. Is this the kind of information people can track? Oh,
absolutely, I think. I mean, again, the first system that the credit union that I was with built, and actually an intern named Matt built it off of an Access database. And it looks something like right out of the box. And all you need, again, third-party software, I'm not saying don't use it. I'm just saying understand what you're getting. It's not going to be a panacea, an instant solution to all this. You're still going to have to enter the information by hand. So it's only going to have two components: a database, someplace you can plug it in and track it, and next it's going to be templates. Again, figuring out what type of due diligence you need for each particular type of vendor.
You still have to call everybody, you still have
Absolutely.
to do the references.
You still have to build that file.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of creating it yourself, seeing how it looks, and seeing if you can put it into a format yourself. I mean, again, if you're a large enough credit union, it may be that your internal controls are such that you need a more robust database so that people can plug into it from numerous directions. And if that's what you need, that's fine. There are several different options out there. But for most credit unions, I think that they can have a home-built solution that they would have a greater ownership and a greater degree of comfort with, in addition to saving some money.
Fantastic.